Cheers. How do you feel traveling solo? Do you get lonely, scared, or worried about things that could happen? Lonely, scared, or worried? No. Definitely don't get scared or worried ever. And yeah, I'm not someone who gets lonely. Like, if I ever feel like I need some socializing in my life, I'll like go into a city and go to a bar and talk to people then. But even then, like, after I do that for a whole night, I'm like happy to be alone again. But I've been traveling solo since I was in high school. When I got my license at 16, I immediately started doing solo road trips, like every single weekend, and I loved it. I loved being able to go exactly where I wanted to go and not having to worry if another person was having a good time or not. Yeah, I remember when I got my license at 16, I drove to Canada. I got my passport and yeah, I went on a solo road trip to Canada and I loved it. So solo traveling is very comfortable for me. What is not comfortable is, well, I'm not saying it's not comfortable all the time, but traveling with another person definitely will bring me out of my comfort zone for sure. And I traveled with my dad for an extended period of time one time, and that was good. And other than him, it's been really like only a few days. As far as long-term travel with another person, I couldn't even imagine that. I really couldn't. Like, I guess that would have to be like the absolute love of my life to be able to do that and want to do that. Yeah, but that should answer your question. I feel like I went off on a little tangent, maybe. All right. Do you have a place in mind to set roots after your year-long quest, or will it be a game day decision? I don't have a place in mind to set roots. I do, like I said, I do have a plan, but we'll see if I still want to do that at the end of this journey. But no roots. I can see how much you loved your father. What is one thing we can do as men to leave such an amazing impact and legacy on our children's lives? Whew, it's deep. I mean, I feel like the answer to that question is so incredibly simple, but at the same time, it was just me and my dad. As I was growing up, we were always together. He worked at a shop right next to the house we lived in, so we were very much inseparable. And I mean, the big thing that it made us have such a unique and special bond is that we always did stuff together. So I guess to answer your question, I would say do as much stuff with your kids as possible. And also be genuinely interested in the things that they like and love. Ask them questions, have good conversations with them, or just conversations with them. I mean, yeah, it's simple as that. Do things with them and talk to them and be there for them. such a weird question because I'm saying these answers and it does sound really simple, but I also just know that the bond that me and my dad had, it's not something that can just be replicated by anyone. I mean, some things just can't be replicated, like, I don't know. My dad was my biggest fan in the entire world, times a million. So when you have a parent that, you know, thinks that highly of you and that supports everything you do. My dad supported me when I was 20 years old and wanted to fly to Australia to live alone. He thought it was the coolest thing in the world, when a lot of other parents would have been like, no way, you're not doing that. Like, are you out of your mind? But all of the things I ever wanted to do, he not only fully supported me, but he genuinely was just so excited for me. So, man, tough question. But yeah, do things with your kids, have conversations with them, and support them in all the things they want to do in their life. What are some misconceptions that either keep people from doing this or that could cause people to fail without all the planning that you did? I guess by doing this, they mean like traveling, living in your car, and YouTube videos and whatnot. Biggest misconception that keep people from doing this, I think, is people think that it's really expensive to live this lifestyle. And I'm here to tell you that the way I'm living right now is 50% cheaper than the way I was living in an apartment. I mean, I don't pay rent. I live in my car. I am spending much more in gas, but when you travel slow, that cost actually isn't that expensive. So, yeah, that's a huge misconception. Could cause people to fail without all the planning that you did. I mean, probably the biggest thing that I think that could cause people to fail is to not set your vehicle or living environment up to something that is comfortable. Most important thing, you've got to be able to sleep comfortable in your bed or your car or whatever you're living in. That is so incredibly important. I do think it's good to have some sort of a plan in the beginning so you're not completely wandering, especially if this is the first time that you've ever done this, because I just think that maybe if you're completely wandering, you might end up more, I mean, to each their own, right? But I know it's really good for my mental health to have this 50-state trip laid out. Like, I know where I'm going to be every week, and I don't have to, like, I do have to think about what I am doing in each state, but I don't have to wonder, like what state I'm going to go to next. Like, so that's really helpful for me, having a little plan. That might not be good for everyone. I don't know, but next question. Best and worst things about your current car setup. Best and worst things. I mean, the best thing is how comfortable and cozy my bed is. I just have a piece of plywood back there and a memory foam mattress. It's about that thick. And yeah, I like how I have like a cooler right next to my bed and a little table. I mean, the worst thing is there's a small amount of room for additional things, so I often find my passenger seat gets completely loaded with stuff like once a week, but then I just clean it and it's fine. So yeah, I don't really think, I mean, the biggest negative is when I do decide to cook, I have to kind of, it takes a lot for me to take all the stuff out to cook because everything is really tucked in the back seats quite well. So I don't cook every day, so that doesn't bother me very much. Yeah, I'm really happy with my car setup. So I'm never in my car and think like, man, this really bothers me. Like, I wish I had this in here, or I wish this wasn't like this. No, I'm super cozy and there's a place for everything, and I feel like I have everything I need in there. So, next question. Oh, we're almost done. Yeah! How do you plan to complete the Hawaii portion of the trip? I am going to be flying and renting a car. Easy answer. What is the hardest part about living in a car full time, and advice for beginners? The hardest part. I'm going to say what is the hardest part for me personally, and I do think that my sleep is just not nearly as good as when it was when I was living in an apartment. Yeah, for sure. Also, too, I'm constantly traveling through different time zones, so that just really messes up my sleep as well. Hardest part. Clearly, it's not that hard for me, because like I can't even think of like really hard parts. Give me a minute. I'll think of something else. Yeah. Okay. Trying to keep a routine of any sort while you're living in a car is just damn near impossible. Like, it is so hard. But that's also when you're full-time traveling. I could see if you're living in a car, like in a city, and you're not traveling, you're just staying there, then that would be pretty easy to create a routine. But when you're traveling to different places all the time, a routine gets really hard. And I'm going to speak for other people. I'm not speaking so much for myself, but I would imagine that if you have any issues with loneliness at all, like you like being with people all the time, living in a car is going to be very difficult for you, because you're alone so much. So that could be a major challenge for some people. Next question. Oh my gosh, it's two more, y'all. I almost answered all y'all's questions. All right, are you going to hit Alaska? Duh, doing all 50 states, man. Got to. What's the last question? What will it be? All right. What is your favorite? Oh, okay, it starts here. What national park are you most excited to see? And what is your favorite one that you have been to? So, I have always said my favorite national park is Capitol Reef National Park in Utah. I think it's probably the least popular park in Utah, but I'm telling you, it is one of the most beautiful. Stunning, incredible, otherworldly views. I absolutely love Capitol Reef. And which national park am I most excited to visit that I haven't been to? I honestly am just always excited to go to a park that I haven't been to before. So I would almost say they're all equal to me. But if you're gonna make me pick one, I will. I would say I'm very excited to visit Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Yes, absolutely. So, man, we did it! Yes! Alright, I'm gonna eat this last bite of sushi. Well, that was perfect timing because my camera just died. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that wasn't the most boring thing in the world. Probably won't do another Q&A for a very long time. So if there was any questions that I didn't answer, just drop it in the comments and I'll respond in the comments. But yeah, hope y'all have a good rest of your day. And I'll see y'all in a few days. Bye.